found love online.
I was cruising the internet and I stumbled across pictures of Matt. I became obsessed.
With a convict.
What was his original crime?
Grand Theft Auto.
When I get lied to, this is what happens.
They've never been together outside prison walls.
That's the beauty of a prison relationship. It's a relationship without sex.
Once released,
Open the door!
they plan to marry.
Little black book, you know what time it is. Hey, listen. Oh, the apple juice with the mango, baby. It's actually water, but I'm breaking into one of these right now, baby. Guys, we are reviewing a new show called Love After Lockup Season 2. I've missed Season 1, but we're going to kick off in Season 2. Someone told me to review this, and listen, whoever told me to review this, you lot are bad mind. Because I don't know whether to laugh, whether to take this seriously. There's one scene in there, yeah, where the woman's at the cooking kitchen, yeah, and she's actually just being so nosy. And I can imagine what her brain is thinking. I was just cracking up, cuz I was just thinking to myself, this is so mad.
Well, you're ready for this, but, you know, I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about it.
It was when the mom said as well, look, we got to be supportive.
Let you know we're fixing to go get a suit for when I get married.
You know?
I've seen too many Dr. Phils, you know?
You have to be optimistic, honey, not pessimistic.
And I think to myself, rather supportive of what? Your son's getting married after how many long months knowing this girl. And, you know, brother, it's mad. But anyway, we're going to get into this video. Listen, we're going to start from the very beginning, which is Matt and Caitlin. Oh, before I even say that, I want to get into something. I'm going to be very honest and brutally honest. When I watched this show, at first I was really judgmental, like, come on man, you're going to get married to people who are going to be in the prison, da da da. And then I started clocking the common themes between each relationship couple. Low self-esteem or low self-esteem, low self-perception of themselves in terms of value. Been hurt either by their mum, either by their parents or by a past partner and haven't got over that hurt. Quick to commit to a relationship based upon trying to shield themselves from pain that they're feeling. So they're not dealing with something, yeah? And then the last one is basically sex.
Prison tomorrow, and there's so many things that I'm excited to be able to finally do with him. I cannot wait.
Aren't you nervous you don't even know the size of his penis?
I don't think I'm nervous. Am I curious? Yeah, absolutely. And when he gets out, game on, I'm checking it out.
4-bedroom instead of a 3-bedroom because I'm not. I feel I really didn't want to have sex with me right away.
From him, like he's very aggressive and like he's very sexual and he's not afraid to say what he wants, which I like.
Cause y'all have phone sex,
Yeah,
right?
we do have phone. We do have phone sex.
Okay.
We've had phone sex, but like I'm nervous though because like I've never been with anyone physically, so it's like I'm still
like in every single one of them, all of them have been talking about sex. They all want to have sex, and for me, it's funny, but I deeps it. They are no different. That just because the person's in prison, actually a lot of times it's the exact same way it happens in the world outside of prison. People go into relationships for the exact same reasons that the people are going into relationships with somebody who's going into prison. The only difference is the person's in prison, and so therefore we're a bit more judgmental. But to be honest, people do this all the time. Plus, I want to give you a little story. So basically, when I was younger, I was about 13, maybe 12. I didn't really value myself that much. You know what I mean? I didn't think I was a good-looking guy. Listen, right now I'm amazing, baby. Don't watch that. But I didn't really think I was a good-looking guy. I didn't really feel like girls really liked me. They didn't. And so I was looking for love or looking for attention in that way to boost my ego, to boost my emotions. I was on the internet, so I remember we used to go on websites like, MySpace, Tagged, Bebo, before the Facebooks came, and such sites like Tagged are what would be now like Plenty of Fish and stuff like that, but without the sexual side of things. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time I was on Tagged, and there was a lot of girls that were showing me attention, etc., and it felt good. Do you know what I mean? And there was one girl that I got into a relationship with who I'd never met, who lived at the opposite end of the country. So I'm in London, and she's like in Southampton or whatever, Portsmouth I think it was. And obviously we exchanged numbers, we started talking all the time. We was always texting. We didn't even really call, we just text a lot of texting. So I wouldn't say fall in love, nah, never. But it was more of a case of like I felt an affection towards the person. Why? Because you know what? Connections are not necessarily made by physicality, they're made by the soul. And the soul, the way it interacts with another soul can be through talking, through texting, for a form of communication. Do you get me? So we speak all time, all the day, all the way through the day. Alright, I'm 13, remember that. I remember one time then she told me, look, she's got a tattoo of my name on her, and I was like, what? I was like, why are you doing that for? She's like, no, I just really care about you, rare. This is where the madness began to start. Then obviously a few weeks later she rang me up saying she also sent me pictures where like I was like, damn, baby, the body's mad. So again, okay, I'll come back to what I meant. The body was crazy. I was like, whew, okay, baby. And yeah, then, you know, she then told me, she rang me up one time and saying, oh, you know, no, she texted me one time saying, oh, if you want your girlfriend back, you got to do something. And I rang her, and it was a man's voice, but I don't know if she paid this guy or whatever. He was saying, listen, if you want your girlfriend, got to come down here and grab her. I said, listen, homie, I'm 13, B, I ain't coming down there. I ain't got peas to go and pay for a train, so listen, keep her, okay? Because I was like, bro, listen, bro, you don't have to keep her because I can't do nothing from here. I was like, let me call the police. And he was like, no, don't call the police. If you call the police, everything's like, I was like, okay, look, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because I was like, do I come down there? But how do I get down there? I'm not telling my parents. B, I'm not going to tell my dad that I got into a relationship with a girl on the internet. And then the internet girl was telling me she's got a tattoo of me, my name, which she showed me a picture of. And also, she's telling me that she's been kidnapped. I'm really not about it. Anyway, I don't know how it blew over. And then a few weeks later, her friend must have messaged me saying, look, she was lying, this, that, da. And I was like, why did she lie about that kind of thing? That's crazy. Okay, a few weeks after that, her brother must have texted me through her phone. Listen, I was so naive. Through her phone saying that, look, she's died. I said, what? So I rang. And obviously I got through to a young sounding voice. And I heard people crying in the background too. So I was like, wait, hold on a minute, what's happened? He said, like, my sister's died, blah, 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 she committed suicide, she left a suicide note for you as well. I said, oh my God, with the what? A suicide note for me? No. Listen, I said, look, look, we were just talking, he said, no, she really cared about you, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, this is mad. Anyway, a few months down the line, I found out that she was lying, that she had put someone up to it. None of this was true, all of it was bullshit, okay? But the point of this story was this. How was I drawn in? I was drawn in because of low self-perception of myself, low self-esteem. I was drawn in, enticed by physicality. She showed me a picture of, pictures of her being sexy and just good-looking, attractive. I was drawn in, and the reason why the conversation between us was going on for so long is because I had nobody else. I had nobody else who I wanted. There's nobody else who I wanted who was wanted me, you understand? And I wanted to be wanted, do you understand? Deep it. Now we're going to come into the actual review of this video. Now I want you to see the context of what we're talking about. Every character in this thing who's looking at somebody from, looking to date somebody who's in a prison is the exact same as me at 13. Low self-esteem, sexually attracted to a person, physicality is important to them, and they've developed a communication and a bond through communication that they've had with somebody, but they want to feel wanted. This is why we're in this show right now. Having said that, let's get into the review. Blood, I've been speaking for time. Let's get into the actual review. Alright, cool. So, I want to start with Matt and, is it Matt and Caitlin? Okay, cool. So they've been obviously talking for 5 months, pen pal ting, it's been quite deep. One thing I noticed was, obviously, I rate the friend, but why the first question you're asking is about his penis size?
Hey, aren't you nervous you don't even know the size of his penis?
Ask her serious questions about what she's actually doing, and you're asking questions about how big his penis size is. For me, that rang alarm bells. You can't now be trying to be serious, and then the first question we're seeing is that you're asking about his penis size. What's that got to do with correlation in terms of actually, this is scary. My girl is trying to now go and move in with somebody who she has not seen, or maybe she hasn't seen, but she hasn't spent enough time with, and you're telling me you want to think about his penis size. What? And so for me, instantly, if someone's receiving that kind of information, I'm thinking to myself, how much of a diligent friend are you? Because this decision she's making is mad. Do you get
I just don't want to see you get hurt.
I don't want to get hurt either. Nobody does. But at the end of the day, like, if I just walk away from it, I'm going to kick myself in the head.
Alright, cool, fast forward. And also, she mentions the fact that her mum was not happy with the decision, and she basically said, listen, you got to move out.
I live with my mother, and when I first told her about Matt, she didn't approve of him being in prison. But there's no doubt in my mind he's who I want to spend the rest of my life with. Like, when you know, you know. But regardless of how much I love him, my mom's concerned that Matt's a felon, and she flat out told me, look, if you're going to make decisions like this, you need to go elsewhere.
If you're gonna continue down this line. But one thing I clocked about the relationship, this is where I'm saying about paying attention. The mother, okay, was
she has a history with drugs, and I feel like a lot of my childhood was taken from me because of drugs.
On drugs previously, and the daughter said this, she was on drugs, and because she was on drugs, you know, she said she felt she was robbed of her childhood. And then when she's mentioning about her love interest with this guy Matt, she talks about the fact that obviously she mentions in the same bracket about her mum being being on drugs, and the fact that her mum didn't agree with her decision. And what I saw was she felt abandoned by her mum in her youth, and now she feels abandoned again because her mum is not being unconditional in her love. And in fact, she actually feels entitled towards her mum to actually support her because she didn't have a childhood.
So if she gave any about me or my relationship or our relationship, she would support me. You know, I thought for once.
You know, like a bit like if I borrowed a tenner of you one time when I was in desperate need, and then when you come to ask me for a fiver, I'm like, no, I can't give you the fiver, it's tight right now. But when I was tight and I give you a tenner, you see how I did it there? It's actually a form of manipulation. It's actually a form of actual entitlement, when actually if I'm doing something for you out of love, it's not because I'm doing it so you can do something for me. And actually I shouldn't feel entitled, but that's how we are as human beings. So what she was doing right there was saying that, mum, and then she's equated her mum abandoning her for the drugs. And she says she loves her mum, and she knows her mum loves her. Her mum not supporting her decision is a form of abandonment. Do you get me? And so I deeped it that this decision that she's taking, is actually also very painful for her. And so although she's trying to figure out what she's actually doing, and the fact that she has to move out, again, when she had to move out, it's a form of abandonment. It's like, mum, you're abandoning me. When you abandoned me when I was a kid, and now you're going to do it again. Interesting was obviously as well that when she was talking to her friend, saying obviously about the decision she was taking, and they were sitting down, she has sat with her hands around her knees and her knees to her chest, alright?
You know, I thought for once that she'd be able to see, you know, how important he is to me. But ultimately, you know, my mom told me I'm not comfortable with him coming around the house. Where does she get off saying anything like that?
She was thinking about the decision she was making. It was a tight decision, and there is a confliction in her mind. And so when she's explaining to her friend is very still, eye contact, but her friend's eyes are so still because what she's trying to do is actually trying to understand what her friend is trying to do, but she does not agree. Let's be real, she doesn't agree, and I think she's trying to show that she's trying to be on side by keeping the eye contact, but she does not agree.
Where are you going to go then, since you can't have him here?
Actually, what she's showing there is that she's tense because her friend's making a decision that she doesn't agree with. Not only that, obviously, actually, Caitlin as well, when she's explaining her original decision of why about saying that Matt won't agree with what she's gonna do, as she goes into talking about the fact that we're gonna have to live with the mum because my mum's kicked me out, etc., etc., her body language opens up and she becomes very animated.
His mom's. Nobody wants to live with their mom in their late 20s, early 30s, whatever. I get it 100%. But right this second, right now, what other option is there? None of it's going to be ideal, but Jesus Christ, being in prison, is that ideal?
Which shows me that obviously when she's talking at that point, she believes that this is what she's confident about what she's saying here. She's expecting about this is what I expect to happen. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Whereas before that, she's unsure. So everything that she's saying, that she's unsure. So her hands are tucked in, hugged tight. She's unsure about what she's saying. But then after that, she's confident. She blows up, tells her, listen, this is what I expect, you know, because obviously we're going to live with a mom. And why should he complain? Because obviously, you know, he hasn't got a place to live. But we're going to make it work kind of thing. Again, it's that she changed because of what's going on in her mind, the two different body languages. Later on, obviously, when she does go to meet her mum, it's quite interesting because her mum, again, you know, when you're going into a relationship, you have to be very, 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 very aware of the information that's coming to you. Your mum has said to you, listen, like, he's relapsed 3 times.
This is not my first rodeo, and this is Matt's 3rd time being released from prison. And in prison, there was no treatment or anything like that. So you guys have a lot ahead of you.
He's done this before. The mum is very open. It's very interesting that she compared her mum to Kathy, the mum of the boy.
I feel like I've lacked family for so long, and Kathy's been nothing but supportive. Like, I'm walking into a family that I never had.
So she feels a sense of rejection from her mum. This is what's driving her decision. This is what's driving her self-esteem. This is what's driving her self-perception. This is what's driving her decision-making to go with a guy like this, because the rejection she feels there, she feels accepted here. Let me tell you something. Humans do not like going down the road of rejection. We'd rather go where we accept it. This is why certain black males date certain white women. Because when they've been rejected by black females, they do not want to go down that lane again. It's too painful. Do you understand? So certain people, when they're dating, they choose not to go down a certain road. So for her, with Caitlin, the pain of rejection from her mum, you see that she compares that to the acceptance of his mum. And so therefore, she's equating that also to how this relationship will also...
Matt has been the only person on the face of the planet that has made me feel like he loves me for me just the way that I am.
Kind of mad. Yes, and you see that obviously when she's talking to the mum and the mum is trying to explain to her, listen, look, I'm not going to be honest with you, it's going to be tough. And then it's like, you know, you can see when the way that somebody receives information, the way what they think, the way she received it, you can see the energy that came back.
So you need to really understand what you're getting yourself into.
He's never given me any reason to doubt him.
You don't know each other.
I understand everybody has to say what they need to say, but he's my person. I'm not supposed to be with anyone else. Whatever I have to do to fight, as long as he's there fighting with me, we'll get through it.
She believes she's going to be okay. She's going to be okay. No, I believe she's convincing herself that she's going to be okay. When you see the way her eyes are, and you see the way her body language, and you see the way she returns the serve of from the mum, it's not super confident. It's more of a case of a facade that she's putting on. And unfortunately, she doesn't. I don't think she truly believes everything she's even saying. But
this is not my first rodeo, and this is Matt's 3rd time being released from prison. And in prison, there was no treatment or anything like that.
Because of rejection, and because she feels an acceptance from the boy, she feels like, and she said it, I said like, she's titled his name as everything on there. That's a problem. You see, often people who are lacking something, love-wise, often like leech onto somebody else and try to hold on to that person because they're showing them a bit of love. This is what they wanted. So what this girl actually needs is love. She needs her mum to show her love. She says she knows her mum loves her, but I don't think that her heart, I don't think that she feels that love all the time. And so therefore she's searching outwardly for that love. And that's why she's at the position she's at right now. That, you know, she mentioned about the fact that, you know, how attractive he is.
And the second I looked at his pictures, I was obsessed.
All the characters who are in this speak about how attractive the person is. And it's crazy because you haven't really seen them. It's crazy because you haven't spent time with them. And attractiveness can change as you spend time with somebody. But as they're not spending time with a person physically, but only by conversation, what happens is the picture you're building up is a false one. Because you actually need to spend time with a person physically. Do you get what I'm saying? She mentioned something. She said, that Matt doesn't like the fact that that they want to be open, and he doesn't want her to keep any secrets from her. And then she's keeping a major secret.
Surprise! We're at my house.
No, what?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, are you mad?
yes. I am.
Why?
Could you get my game? I don't know what's going on right now.
He's a little pissed. I mean, I understand that he's kind of looking at it like I kept a secret, so what else am I keeping? But
that for me is a red flag. What else are you waiting for, darling? That's a red flag. You've gone to see the mum, and evidently, yeah, maybe she'll ask him before you're going to see the mum. But you've gone to see the mum, and he's blown up to the point where you say, listen,
what time are you going to call me tonight?
I'll let you tomorrow morning.
Matthew, knock it off.
What?
There was one rule established for today, and that was that there will be a good night call.
That was before your detour.
Okay, well, listen, I'm sorry for the detour, but for real though, babe, like you have to call me tonight.
No. You're not going to get me tonight.
let me just say this now. Rachel, Jacob, and Leah. Jacob, yeah, served Laban, the dad of Rachel and Leah, for 7 years for the wife of Rachel. I mean, when he kissed Rachel, he wept. He cried, bruh. Do you understand? And he worked for marriage for Rachel for 7 years. Then got into a bed on the marriage night and then found out in the cover of darkness that he had actually slept with his sister Leah. How is it after 7 years you do not recognize a woman? Because you do not know that person on a deeper level. You see, darkness represents an absence of. Darkness represents a lack of. Darkness represents the fact that, listen, you do not know. There's a mystery there. And so therefore, when you're in darkness, you lack knowledge. And so therefore, in these scenarios, potentially between Matt and Caitlin, there's a lack of knowledge of who this guy is. Hence why, when he said what he said about, cussing about the fact that you see my mom, etc., you're shocked. And you're shocked that he put the phone down because you've never seen this side of him. Look, you never marry anybody you've not seen them angry. Never marry anybody you haven't seen the dark side of. Let me put it that way. Never marry somebody you've never seen the dark side of. Because the day the dark side comes out, I will tell you be consumed. I kept a secret, so what else am I keeping? But I wasn't expecting this reaction from him. The day the dark side comes out, you'll be shocked that you can't even cope. You understand? So make sure you see the dark side of somebody before you marry them. You get me? And because she's titled him as everything, yeah? You see, when you title somebody as everything, yeah? Let me tell you about healthy relationships. Even when you title, even if they were a healthy relationship, yeah? Never, I'm going to put it number 2, never title, never think, never believe another human being, whether it's your wife, husband, is everything you are needing. If this doesn't work out with him, my heart's broken. And that's the scary thought, because I don't want to do life without him anymore. Never. Do you know why I say that? Because human beings are fallible. The only person who is everything to you is God. The reason why I say that is because only God will never let you down. The moment you title another human being as everything, the day they let you down, everything is lost. The day they betray you, everything is lost. The day they don't do the thing that you thought they should have done, everything is lost. The day that they're rude to you, everything's lost. You see, and then what happens is because everything is now your idol, this is what happens. We then, when the person no longer can fulfill the role of an idol to you, you're hurt. This is why a lot of people are in hurt relationships. They made a man or a woman an idol. And it's what she's done. She's made this man an idol because she's not dealt with the pain that she's feeling from her mum. And maybe obviously a lack of a father. Like this, I didn't even see what the dad was. Final thing, she said one last thing. The most important thing is that she lays her head next to his. Important thing is being able to lay my head next to his at the end of the day. I'm telling you, the door of abuse is ready. Because if that's the most important thing to you, you can lay your head next to his. I know she was talking in context in terms of because she's not dealt with the pain that she's feeling from her mum. And maybe obviously a lack of a father. Like this, I didn't even see what the dad was. I was wondering where he was. It's mad. I think that's my points for her. And then final thing, she said one last thing. The most important thing is that she lays her head next to his. I'm telling you, the door of abuse is ready. Because if that's the most important thing to you, you can lay your head next to his. I know she was talking in context in terms of where they stay, but it's just the term that she used. If anybody is gonna say such a line, just know that you'll be ready to do anything to make sure you achieve that target. And therefore abuse can set in. Because the moment you begin to let someone be your everything that So long as you're happy, just be having this. As long as I get to lay my head next to you, I'm cool. So long as you come home to me, I'm cool. So long as you cheat and you don't tell, and I don't find out, and the chicks don't come out, and the mistresses don't come out, I'm cool. That level of substandardness, okay, always leads to abuse because you don't know your value.